2, 1, and welcome everybody to another episode of Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies. I am here with the crew of the Knights of Barovia. The Knights of Barovia are now starting Season 4. This is Episode 1 of Season 4. Okay, guys. Let's talk about what happened last season, right? Let's just do a season recap. Last season, you fought off the Trinity. And the remnants of Strahd's allies who existed in Barovia and you had run-ins with for the last 3 seasons. During the third season, you were able to successfully go into the you were able to defend Barovia by defeating the Trinity. Your characters were able to kill Baba Lagasa and liberate the village of Barovia from her antics. You were able to chase out the remnants of the courts of Mithras, specifically the Winter Court, by slaying the Winter King and passing his mantle to the Demon Lord Agroskel. That liberated, and he gave the promisor that Barovia will not, that he will keep the forces of the Fae outside of the borders of Barovia. What else? You guys were able to another party of adventurers who you worked with. You were able to make peace with the great rock of the Gothis Mountains. You were able to make friends with a group of adventurers. Later on, you used that group of adventurers after you went back to the Castle Ravenloft. You were able to protect the prince and the others that were there. You had found out that assassins had tried to... Because at the beginning of the season, you guys found out that there was an assassination contract out on the Wizard of Wines. You were able to successfully find and kill the assassin, and you sent the adventurers below while you all did off other adventuring, and you were able to, those adventurers were able to chase off the sorceress who had harried you for quite a time. They said that she teleported away. You were able to find out that Baba Lagasta had planned on soul sharding and trading bodies with Isabella. You were able to...
Did he freeze?
I think so.
I think he froze.
Am I frozen? I'm a frozen person. I'm frozen. Am I frozen?
He'll be back.
Duck face, at least.
Am I back? Am I back yet? Hello? Am I back?
Question. Oh, yep, you're
Hey,
back.
okay, you're
Welcome
back.
back.
Okay, I'm back.
You ended
Great.
with Baba Lagasta and her sharding.
Right. Baba Lagasta had a backup plan, or maybe it was part of her full plan, is that she had planned on soul sharding Isabella. You guys, I wrote up this plot, and I was like, I thought you guys weren't going to run into it at all, but you actually ended up running into it, and you ended up thwarting her. You noticed that she was tired and ran down, and Isabella was looking sickly. You investigated mystically. You found that she was tied to her. You did some investigations. You found out some soul sharded, and you were able to free her from such an effect after a long, extended process. You guys found I would say the equivalent of a toadstool princess. Who was hiding in the well in the village of Barovia, and you were able to liberate her. You found out that her and her ilk had been captured and enslaved by the sorceress. By the time you had arrived back at the Castle Ravenloft, though, the queen and all of her Myconid brethren were killed, leaving the princess alone. And I believe currently she resides in the caves below Ravenloft, or did she go with you, Isabel?
No, we left her with the prince.
Okay. So
She's
Which I
Yeah.
was super salty about because I wanted her to come live with the bored rich lady and the other orphans.
You
Right.
still could talk to her, invite her in. Currently, she's living in the caves below there, and starting up her own Myconid colony, since she is now the sole royal of the Myconid. They're a sporous race, but she is still currently young. So her toadstools are very little, tiny Myconids. All right. What else? You guys. Oh, end of the season. I didn't know that you guys were going to finish on this one, but you ended up finishing on this one. I had a plot in Kresik. You guys eventually were able to go north, and after some warning from your arcane archer ally Havara, sending you a message, you found that the village of Kresik was under attack by were-tigers. The were-tiger's name was... Oh, geez. What was his name?
Gary.
Tismir.
Tismir the Hunter, thank you. Tismir the Hunter, who was Havara's nemesis. You guys made your way north there, and you found out it wasn't just Tismir. The Dark Trinity had a plot. They were going to infect a lot of people with were-tiger lycanthropy. They were going to side with Thay in the war, and they were going to march that army through an arcane gate called an Avernus Gate. You had they had built two Avernus Gates. The champions of Agenvostenholt, with some help from the village of Benz, were able to destroy that gate and stop it before it could be used for Thayish means. And you found them building another Avernus Gate, which I believe Kethri's character had a run-in with one of the demonic lords of Thay.
Yep, and I bolted quick.
and you took off, as you should, from a CR-18 demon. All right, so you guys eventually had a some of you gathering armies, kind of getting ready. Some of you scouted ahead and to help people, and eventually you had a big run-in fight with Tismir the Hunter and his army. Your army obviously wasn't doing very well against his, but as soon as you killed Tismir, all the other people affected by lycanthropy were now unaffected, which turned Azura back into an Azamar, right?
Yeah.
Freeing her from the curse, and freeing all those other people, and basically killing were-tiger lycanthropy on this plane. As lycanthropy is not in this world, it was brought here from Barovia. And you killed the Alpha. I believe Skylar's character actually got the killing blow, so he got the mantle, the Monk Master mantle that is passed on if you are a monk character and you kill one of the animalistic masters, which Tismir was one of. There are others in this world that are also that. So we'll see what happens. That was the end of that season. So let's talk epilogue. You guys have 3 months of downtime. During those 3 months of downtime, and as you guys have alluded to in the primer, the world is definitely in a different state. Soon after Tismir was defeated, the princess of Pharellis broke her engagement with the prince, Caspian, and she left back home, no longer feeling that she was safe. And that being her reason why she left. And she left after recovering from a great sickness that she had fallen into. After she left, soon thereafter, King Quintilius the Bald, well, that's 3 months' time. That's current time. The war went pretty okay. It's going pretty okay for the Alliance right now. They are having some trouble with the Fey courts of Mithras now joining the ranks of the what did I call them? The Alliance is the Alliance, and then the other one.
The compact.
The Compact. Had joined the Compact. Near the end of these 3 months, the Ferellian army pulled back and has left the Alliance. I'll just read the primer. With the second year of the war about to start, the two factions start in extreme unbalance. In the beginning, the Alliance was favored to win with the Dragon Empire of Gazetteer surrounded, and the Majocracy of Thay pinned between the veteran armies of Assyria and the might of the Carthal's great golem armies. But not all good things last forever. In a surprise move, the exalted Empire of Ferellis pulled out of the Alliance after it became known that the Emperor Quintilius the Bald had fallen into poor health. The weakening of the king has allowed forces inside the court to vie for power, causing its armies to march back home. To further add insult to injury, the Moonlit King has fallen, and his place in the winter court of Mithras, a new Moonlit King has declared war on the Alliance and joined the forces of the Compact. Additionally, Princess Aurelia Batan of Ferellis has broken her marriage arrangement with Prince Caspian of Barovia. In doing so, the prince has isolated Barovia geographically. The princess has isolated Barovia geographically as its borders Ferellis on all sides. Factions within the Ferellis speak of unification of the Illidan woods through military force, but thankfully Barovia has some friends left in Ferellis. And I think that's kind of where you are, kind of the news of the day. Did anyone want to, before we start the season, did they want to use any of their information gathering allies for anything? Any of their spy masters or anything? You have as many actions as you have ranks at the beginning of the season. Oh, sorry, not the beginning, during the season. You can use one now if you would like to ask any questions.
Well, I do want to do one, but it has to do with what I'm going to put out later, so we'll
okay.
go with it later.
Okay, go with it later. I'm down. Okay, some good news. Pork Shank, it's known, right? So when we start, it's known what's going on with your character and.
Oh, that Irina! I've been chasing Irina now for seasons, so yeah, that's not news.
Okay.
I mean, it'll be good news that yes, but yeah.
Okay. I will hand off the beginning of the narration then to Pork Shank. I assume you send everyone word.
Yep, and we're going to meet, under my statue.
Right. So everyone does receive word that there is going to be a prenuptial ceremony between Pork Shank, Burgermeister of Benz, and
Arena
of Barovia. Oh, sorry, also end of the season. Jesus Christ. I can't believe I forget this is important. Okay. Who was your Pork Shank? Who was that lady that was with you? I'm trying to pull up her name right now.
Savi?
Savi has been made Burgermeister of Yester Hill.
Oh my God.
That happened at the end of last season. Probably really forgettable, but that's a thing that did happen. Savi, since the Fae pulled out, Savi was given rulership and to start her own town if she wished, and she was given the lands of Yester Hill. The Burgermeister of Kresik is dead. He died during the struggle and the fight. Victor has been made the Burgermeister of... No, it wasn't Victor. The Wizard of Wines was made the Burgermeister of Kresik. And the Burgermeister of Barovia has yet to be decided, I believe, correct? Am I wrong there?
As far
Right.
as far as we know, it was
Right
still
now,
council.
they're still under
Council.
Council.
yeah, they're under council, and we told them they requested to be able to elect their own. So whoever's the leader of the council will be the Burgermeister, but the council will still rule. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like having a committee with a chairperson.
right. So right now there is the council rules as a joint burgership of the village of Barovia for now, under the watchful eye of the prince.
Yeah.
And we'll see if any of that changes over time.
And he sent somebody. I don't remember who. Uh-oh, he froze again.
Am I frozen? Am I still frozen? I'm a frozen person.
Yep.
Oh boy. Let me know when I'm unfrozen. Am I unfrozen?
Oh, almost back.
Oh,
Am I back?
almost.
Am I back?
There we go.
Sort
Am I
of.
back? I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can
Your
hear
voice
you.
is back.
Can't see
Your
you.
video.
Oh boy. Internet is terrible tonight. Great. All right.
There he is.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Sorry, we have random outages. We have really great connection to the internet, and then it just randomly will die. So that's great. Okay.
You know, MediaCom.
Yeah. Currently, he has sent people there to watch over the city. I think Victor was. That's why Victor was in mine. Victor was sent out there to watch over the village of Barovia. He is not the Burgermeister. He's just watching over the council as the eyes and the ears of the prince. Okay. Outside of that, Prince Caspian is in good health. He doesn't mind not being betrothed to the princess, because even though she may have an adult body, she was still a kid.
was
That's
weird.
fucking weird.
And he was like, nope, 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 nope. He's happy. He's happy
Yeah.
he's not getting married to a child in an adult's body. He was very much not cool with that.
Well, you know, nothing like an infant in one body and a 500-year-old dude in the other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he's basically like 500 years old. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he's been dead for a while.
Plus, he was supernaturally aged when he was stuck for months,
Oh, that too.
which turned into 7 years in the winter courts.
But with one very virile kiss, he was returned to vitality.
Yes, that also happened, right? The kiss of life did happen last season. Does anybody else have any questions about the state of the world, though, before we do start the game off in Ben's?
So there was no like boons at the end, like at the end of the last season.
I gave you guys all money.
Okay.
If you look
You know,
at your
money's always good. That's what I always tell Grandma.
yeah, if you guys and I gave you guys bonus monies based off your, you know, if you had farms or a mine or stuff like that, right? I gave you its level multiplied in extra monies.
Woohoo!
But each of you did receive funds. So you all, if you look in there, you all have a lot of copper. You're some rich bitches. So
We've always
Oh.
been rich.
Another thing, you had started a
Well.
mechanic, and I don't think we've touched on it lately.
mhm.
Power rankings.
Yeah, I've kind of held off
Did
on
you
that.
kind of let that go off?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of like I test a lot of stuff in the water, and sometimes I feel like if I
Well,
throw,
right after you did that, we went to the Fae, and they had a whole different ranking. So
Yeah,
then
they
we
had-
just kind of never came back, and we were kind of like, oh, okay.
yeah. At this point, it's more of a soft power thing. You can kind of just, if you have questions about somebody's personal ranking, you can ask me, do a check, and I'll let you know. But I keep
Okay.
in mind what you guys do, your holdings, your lands, your armies, and people will respond back to you in kind based off those things. So as you have keeps and armies and allies and cohorts, and your general legend of the things you guys have done happen, people will keep that in mind.
Cool thing at some point would be able to, if Porkshank could put a thing on the statue, like the bigger his legend grows, the bigger the statue gets.
Yeah, I'm down. That seems fun. That seems fun.
Wow.
Right?
Straight up Statue of Liberty here in a
Yeah,
bit.
So the statue gets bigger, but the loincloth stays the same size, right?
Oh God!
Uh-oh.
Eventually, it's just a rag that's hiding nothing.
Yeah.
Why is
Just
there a
the
rag
tip.
around that guy's ankle?
It hides the tip.
Just the tip.
Oh God, what is it like? Like, what are those?
Where did I started it?
Yeah.
So you're saying we'll never know if he's circumcised?
But at this point, we all know whether or not Porkshank is circumcised. That was never a question.
I mean, that's true.
Not anymore.
No shame.
Oh shit, James, I forgot to. You know why? When I set the scene with you, I forgot to build your armies and send them to you because you did have the dwarves come. They're there. I'll build them, but they're there.
And then everybody else was with the inclusion of the new one. We were supposed to up or whatever for having a captain.
Right. I'll make those fixes later. We'll do those. I'll do.
I'm
those
not
before.
worried about it. Today's like a zero session season 4. We're just kind of catching stride and remember where the hell we're at after chaotic last season.
Yeah. So, all right, let's begin the season off right. James, describe the current state of the village of Benz, what things look like, and where the scene will set for everyone to begin at.
Okay, I believe the town of Barovia now is much more than a hamlet. It's approaching more of a
it's a village.
Main village size, like 3,000 people or something, or 10.
The current population of the village, sorry, the town. It is now the town.
Town.
Yeah, you have reached township levels.
Ooh.
So the current population is 4,123.
Outstanding.
It is over 118 acres. Yeah. Human 66, dwarf 21, elf 7, gnome 3, half orc 1%, beast folk 1%, half elf 1%, being the makeup of the population.
Yeah, and the beast folk are my elephant people that are in charge of making all of the. They've developed all of the. They're developing all the farms. The dwarves are coming to help with the mines. The mines are opening. The town is setting up trade.
Mm-hmm.
The traveling folk, the Vistari.
Yep.
They're trying to spread the trade language still. To go ahead and make common here for trade anyway.
They're working on it. It takes time.
That's years, decades, centuries. Who knows?
Your dock now has 6. It has 6 port slots for ships that can come up and down the river.
And so today I've spent like the last month getting the main celebration set up in our open town square, throwing a big feast. Arena has finally agreed to enter into nuptials with me. So, and welcoming our new commander and all that stuff today. I don't think there's anything else that everybody...
Not too much. Is there anything else anyone else would have done during downtime that others might have heard of?
No.
People may have heard of the growth of the Church of Ritter.
Oh,
in
yes, that
Kresik,
probably, yeah.
and all of the people that have been the word has been spreading quickly about it.
Yeah, the temple of the previous temple of the Morning Lord, ran by the Archbishop, that was abandoned, was gifted back to Trey, and it has been re-sanctified as a temple to Ritter, and there's people that are showing up. It seems like a fun church.
Heresy.
You may also have heard of some of the weird monks and priests that live there, such as the stone giant and the Cyclops, priest of Ritter, that does sermons every once in a while.
Yep. There's a stone giant, and there's a Cyclops there, and a odd looking dragon man. So yeah.
Hey, Tony, what is
Yes.
the D&D equivalent of Exterminatus?
Exterminatus, you say?
This
Well.
place is lost.
Cleanse
What the
man.
hell?
Cleanse the planet.
Heresy. Okay. All right. So, continue to set the scene. I gotta use the bathroom, but James, continue to set the scene. All the other characters can choose to come into the scene in the way that they feel is appropriate, right? But James, go ahead, and it's a holiday. We are beginning today's game. It is the holiday of NDL, right?
No, Idolin.
Indolin. I have butchered that name, and I'm the one who made it. That's so sad. I will post what the holiday normally is kind of about, and I believe that James, you're doing the setup of the prenuptial ceremony between you and Arena. So I'll be right back. But go ahead and set that scene, and you guys begin roleplay. It's been 3 months, so bam.
So, welcome, friends, to Ben's for Idolin. This year is very, very special. We are celebrating my promise of my prenuptial engagement to Arena after much fanfare and preamble, and we will have huge feast. Hello, are you
I
here?
look forward to it. Nina will come up and give you a big old kitty hug and say, I look forward to your kittens.
I too look forward to my kittens.
Wow.
Oh.
Trey would walk up to him. Behind Trey, as he's walking, there is a stone giant that's walking behind him.
Well,
he'd walk up and be like, "Congratulations, my friend, for finding the love of your life. And may you have an eternity of love and peace."
peace would be very, very boring, but hey.
Not always peace, but peace for your family.
Isabella, ever the practical person, is going to congratulate the both of you. And then I'd like to offer to gift you a teleportation circle here in Ben's, a permanent one. Free of charge, instead of charging you an arm and a leg like I do everyone else.
Oh, that is wonderful present. It would be much appreciated and cut down on much travel we have to do.
And then last,
Also would,
Practical gift.
I would like to introduce you to Baloo and Pumbaa, my two new cubs. And I'll bring them out and roll around with them in the square. They're dire bears, but they're cubs. So they're only the size of like a Kodiak. Well, not
A
a
regular
Kodiak,
bear?
but a black bear.
Yeah.
They'll
All
end
right.
up being bigger than a Kodiak, but right now they're about black bear, brown bear size. And I just kind of roll around like they're like big mastiffs.
Puppies.
All right. As that's going on, Azura will approach with two guards on either side of her, her hands clasped, and she is wearing her normal silverish and gold armor. She will approach you and flash her wings like in a very
I thought that sentence was going to go very differently.
spectacular
Yeah.
display. She's going to flash her wings and say, "May the Lord of Light and Morning bless you in your union, and may his faith guide you on the path to happiness."
And I will give her crowd like tuna can crushing hug.
Ah! Oh, thank you, pork shank. And my gift to you is the everlasting protection of Argenvostholt as long as you need it. Now put me down, please.
Okay. Very good. Appreciate it. And if you need stuff from me, you know where to come.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Frey whispers in Nina's ear, going, "When do you think she's going to freak out because the love of her life isn't going to marry her?"
And Nina's gonna lean back over and be like, at the actual ceremony, when they ask, does anyone protest? I brought popcorn.
5 gold on it?
I have gold on it. Don't worry, the popcorn has butter.
Sweet.
I will go back. I will step back, rejoin the guards I am with, and we'll go off to the side and just chillax.
So that's what you do when you find out that the love of your life is engaged.
Well, when you're celibate, you know, you learn to live with these things, I assume.
Yep, you just pray a lot.
I'm going to kind of wander over to Azura. Hey, you want to go blow some shit up?
Maybe.
So, friends, countrymen, celebrate! And kick off the festivities. There's food all over the tables. It's, like I said, it's been a month in the making to put this together.
Okay.
How many people die at this celebration?
Well,
you know, it's not a real celebration
party
unless somebody dies.
Since it
There
is
may be
a
some alcohol points.
since it is a large celebration, Pork Shank, you do know that the prince will make a showing later today.
Oh,
He'll probably show
Wow.
up probably in late afternoon to bless the union. Obviously, Victor and his father the Burgermeister of Valaki will make their way here. They'll probably be here before the afternoon. The Wizard of Wines is already here. He has provided several barrels of wine, red number 9, for people that would like it as a gift to the prenuptial. And I would say 2 members of the council in Barovia have made it here. The rest of the council could not.
Rude.
outstanding. Very good celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Very well attended.
And someone else shows up. You notice at the near one of the tables in town is Viscount Chauncey Nickelcloud. He just appears out of nowhere, and just seems to be sitting at a table having some wine, and he will give a slight bow in your guys' direction.
I will wander over his direction.
Okay. Everyone does see him, so As Pork Shank comes closer, he will stand up with a glass of wine and he'll say, "Ah, Burgomaster Porkshank of Ben's. Congratulations on the prenuptial. I wish you many years of happiness that I never had with any of my marriages."
Oh, I'm very sad to hear that, but thank you very much for your good wishes, there, Viscount.
Yes.
We have much to discuss. It has been long since we have seen one another.
Yes, after the prenuptial, I would like to have a discussion with yourself and the rest of the Knights of Barovia. Though our countries no longer will be united in marriage, I still do have the bad habit of liking you guys. And I would like to discuss I would consider a missed opportunity for Forellis, but the missed opportunity of Forellis can turn into an opportunity for Barovia.
Now it's a really, really missed opportunity. What?
Definitely missed that opportunity.
Dragon Master.
You're back. We
Am I
see you
back?
moving.
You froze at you've missed opportunity.
Oh. Well, I would present to you a missed opportunity of Forellis, but the missed opportunity of my homeland could turn into the opportunity of yours. I would not discuss more until we are later tonight. First, pleasure before business. The wine is fantastic. I hear the prince is to arrive.
I have heard the rumors. We shall see.
Yes, yes. If you could, don't tell the prince I'm here. I would prefer that no one else outside of yourselves knows that I'm here.
I would like you to meet one person, though.
Oh, of course. Oh, just to let you know, there's a magical guise over me. Only yourself and your friends can see me for who I really am. Everyone else sees a mangy old man in a really ill-fitting hat. And anything we say to each other sounds like gibberish.
Well, this is my assistant Burgermeister, Mr. Luvash. I was kind of hoping you would make fast friends with one another. I think you would find him very, very interesting.
Yes, if you would like, I can make friends with your spy master. I am aware of the pokings. Very good network, might I add. Robust, beautiful. It reminds me of one I made in my early 30s. It's fantastic.
We are but a small, teensy weensy, tiny country.
Sir, your country may be small, but information is more powerful than armies. And I deal in information. So, yes, I would be willing to meet with him. Of course, if you meet with this mangy old man in an ill-fitting hat.
I believe he will astound you, I do believe.
Of course, I am willing to be astounded.
But for now, have a great time. Enjoy.
Of course, I do plan to. What a beautiful place. Is that an Eton? And he kind of just walks off.
Bobby?
Carry on board, bye.
Oh yeah, Tony, I did bring Where Land Meets Water with me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there is a stone giant who is sitting on a large boulder that is eating tiny loaves of bread like they're chips. Just like...
That's adorable.
You know, she's got an entire cart of bread by her. That she's just picking them up like they're chips and just like eating and.
I really want to wrestle that woman.
I don't know who would win. I kind of want to find out.
I think that's a party we should have in the mud.
Yeah.
And so begins the tradition of mud wrestling in Barovia. At wedding celebrations.
As the new Archbishop of Ritter, I believe I could have that happen.
This is how religion is born, people.
Hey, traditions are what makes a country.
Okay. The crowd is astounded by an interesting mud wrestling competition between Kronk Porkshank and a stone giant. I will say that the wrestling match ends in a draw. Right?
That's what I figured. Yeah.
You're both about equivalent strength to each other because yours is twice what you are, which makes you a large, huge creature. She's a huge creature, so you're pretty much wrestling on even footing. You're just more wrestling with like a single hand versus, because she's very tall. But it's definitely mud wrestling. Imagine that kind of scenario. Kronk wrestling this giant stone woman. So, all right, that's interesting.
Outstanding. That was fun.
I will say that lasts for about an hour. Just kind of, James, since it's your scene, describe what it looks like, right? Wrestling to a draw with a stone giant monk.
I mean, like, onlookers have to stand back. The pool we're wrestling in is probably just under Olympic size. Mm-hmm. We throw each other. There's sliding. There's splashing. There's huge amounts of grunting and groaning and straining. Each of us will go ahead and have moments of advantage and disadvantage. But like you say, in the end, huffing and puffing and drawing to the end of our resources, we kind of smile, slap each other on the back, congratulate each other on our prowess, and go jump in the river together. All
right. You both jump in the river, cleansing yourselves of the mud. Interesting enough, you dive into the river. She walks on the water. And she calls spouts of water to her that kind of brush her like a hose, as if she can just control water at a whim. Eventually, she flicks her hands twice, and all of her clothes instantly dry as steam puffs off from her, and she walks back onto the beach.
Yeah, I'm just wearing like a ceremonial torque and my normal kilt. That's it.
Yeah.
Big, hairy, fuzzy, with my big, dwarven beard.
Mm-hmm. During the entirety of the fight, Arena is your biggest. She's clapping for you like crazy. She's going nuts over it. Right. At this point, you have saved her multiple times, and she's impressed. A lot of other people are clapping. The elephants are having hell of a time. I will say the dwarves are here. I just don't have the commander written up, so insert commander and the dwarves. The dwarves go fucking nuts. Most of the wine is gone before the evening hits, right? So you have an armies of drunk dwarves everywhere. They are, and dwarves in my world are like Klingons, right? Their society is like a Klingon society. They're
perfect.
They're all about it. So these guys are headbutting each other. They're challenging each other. The wrestling matches. Everyone's mother has been insulted tonight, and there we go. They do arm wrestling except with like blades at either end, right, to poke the other.
All right.
So
holy shit.
There's a lot of dwarves here. When I say the population. That population of 21% is because of the mining community and the dwarven army that was brought in, right?
Yes.
So
Outstanding. So did we get some of the ones that immigrated to Barovia, the village?
Yeah, I mean, there's some dwarves, yeah, that came from the Barovian village because of the mines there. They immigrated here, as well as the most of those dwarves aren't Khazad-dûnian. They were the from the country of. Give me a second. I gotta go pull it up. I rarely deal with this country. Mysia. The kingdom of Mysia from Igmister. But the army dwarves, so they're hill dwarves, right? But the majority of the population is Khazad-dûnian dwarves, which are mostly mountain dwarves.
No.
And
Outstanding.
they're from the armies that you recruited here. From the
Yes,
the
spent
trade.
lots of money.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's what you're doing. What about the rest of you? I'll start with Nina. Nina, what are you doing during the celebration? There's a lot going on.
She's mostly just kind of partying it up, catching up with, people. She's probably front and center at the wrestling match, cheering on, just for the sheer joy of it. But she's definitely not getting dirty. Like, she's far enough back, and she's not going to be anywhere near a splash zone.
Okay. And obviously you did not come alone. Walking beside you, most people wouldn't recognize him, right? He does look significantly different, with the madness gone from his face. His hair is no longer matted. He almost looks like he's de-aged about 15, 20 years. Previously known as Morty, now as somebody. He replies to another name. He stands beside you, and he says, "What a fantastic place this Ben's. Knight Nina, you say I have been here before."
You have. I think during some of the beginning phases, at least when I knew you, it was talking animals at some point, or other various tricks. But I'm happy to introduce you to the new Ben's. This is what it's grown to, and this is the memories you should have of it. This joy.
Yes, I can tell they are very energetic. I have never seen so many dwarves. They speak in a very foreign tongue. I'm trying to understand it as best I can. It's taking time.
It will definitely come with time. Nina will probably also make sure that Morty and the Wizard of Wines meet, and she'll reintroduce there. And I'm assuming the Wizard of Wines brought his daughters. Is that true?
He'd probably bring a couple.
Couple of them? Okay. So because Nina was fairly close to two of them, so she'll make sure that, she'll make those introductions and show him around a bit, make jokes about it.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry,
he will meet with them. He greets them very properly. He will give them a bow. Yeah, the Wizard of Wines he will bow to, because the Wizard of Wines is now Burgomaster. They briefly talk wizard shop, right? And he'll look back to you and he's like, "And the rest of your party members, the Baroness, the the Sorceress, and a Hobgoblin. It's been a long time since I've seen hobgoblins. They are common in Zentil Keep."
I'm not familiar with that place, but really this is the only one I've truly known, and he's a very dear friend. And I believe he's a bishop or an archbishop now.
Yes, I did hear that he found religion with this goddess Rita fantastic thing. I would like to see this temple sometimes. I have not been to a temple. Last time I went to a temple was to my father took me to temple commonly. Bane is worshipped within the Zantilian borders. More often than not. But yes, it is interesting. I look forward to meeting them and getting to know everyone again in a much more civilized manner.
After he says that's what he would like to do, I'll probably try and seek out Trey and see if there's a time that he would be okay with him going.
I am okay with him coming to the temple whenever we are. Anytime. So,
and you originally were from Thay, as I understand it, Mr. Trey.
Yes. I was born and raised in the fighting pits of Thay. I was a gladiator, a slave.
Of course. Terrible thing, slavery. Men should be free to pursue their interests. I do agree. I myself have warred with the occasional Thayan. I never really liked the Wed Wizards that much. They're too stringent in their study.
They are not much better on this plane, from what I hear.
Well, a Thayan's always a Thayan.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. I look forward to learning about your goddess.
I shall teach you all I can.
Yes, I am a student to learn.
Well, if it is other temples, we could also speak with Lady Azura and see if she would grant you access to Ogden-Vostenhold.
Oh, yes, the Dawn Father. I am familiar with this god, and of course with the god of dragons, the good Bahamut. I'm good there.
Okay.
I've had thorough education. I am familiar with the pantheon from my world. I do not follow Bane's teachings.
Okay.
But it would be awkward, and I wouldn't want to have to cause such an issue.
Okay. Well,
But I'm sure Azura is a wonderful woman. I would love to meet the Baroness. It's Baroness, right? You're a Baronet? It's the... What was your title? Damn it.
Baroness of the Dawn.
Baroness of the Dawn. I would be interested in meeting the Baroness of the Dawn, possibly more on her terms.
of course.
Okay. What next? Azura, what are you doing?
I'll probably be just talking to diplomats and other important figures, burgermeisters and all of that, just to get business, of the government done and settled, and anything else that's coming up like that, internal affairs kind of stuff, or domestic affairs, I mean.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely possible here. You spend hours whining and dining and talking to all the burgermasters, all the other baronets. There are commanders here as well. A lot of people are kind of really hyped up, expecting the Prince Caspian, because he rarely leaves his keep nowadays, especially with the effort of building up Barovia, and there being so many foreigners coming in, having to deal with everyone else basically has to come to him. All right, that's definitely doable. Nothing too much of note. Um, there are a lot of diplomats that are here. Most ambassadors are here. You have ambassadors. You have multiple ambassadors from Rokugan, from Astaria, from
Nice.
Varissia. I believe there's an ambassador from. Yeah, there's Elven ambassadors. There's two different Rokuganian tribes here, Phoenix Clan and I believe Fox Clan. There's an Azunian ambassador. He has brought his blimp, and he's walking around with a single warforge. He's very ecstatic, right? He's showing off his newest invention that he's working on getting working, called the light bulb. It doesn't work right now, but it's glass. Just imagine it lighting up, is what he
Ooh.
keeps telling people. And everyone's like, sure, right. Okay. All right. All right. Isabella. What is Isabella doing?
Isabella's just kind of enjoying herself and yeah, that's pretty much it. She doesn't really have an agenda at this party.
Okay. Don't have an agenda at the party. That's perfectly fine. All right. Yeah, you have a great time. There's tons of people here. Everyone's drinking. Everybody is.
And I am scouting out the perfect place to put this teleportation circle that I promised Porkshank as an engagement gift.
Oh, great, great. You think that the best place to put the teleportation circle is a place that isn't tromped on often. You think inside the keep, right? Probably somewhere within a what you can do is you can take a cellar area, right? Someplace storage, and you could probably put it there, you think. Then they just have to lock off the room. That way you can guarantee if you teleport in, you don't teleport into somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why most teleportation rooms are kind of locked off, because you don't want to teleport into anything. It's painful for both parties.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Trey, I don't think we've done you yet. Is there anything that you would like to do during the celebrations party before the prince arrives?
Yeah, probably a few things. I'm wondering if either of my ambassadors showed up. They were more than welcome to come. I just didn't.
Yep. The Elven ambassador, Devidar Estamel.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, that's your captain. The Elven ambassador to Astaria, Elder Yessa Liflammer, is here. He's currently chatting it up with Azura.
Okay.
And the Dragonborn ambassador of the Phoenix clan, Membar Nasan, is currently he's in a very colorful, multicolored robe, walking around, and he appears to be actually very, very astutely trying every single wine he can. You see, he has a line of glasses, and he'll take one, he'll smell it, he'll extend his tongue, taste it a little bit, go to others, and he seems to be chatting it up mostly with the Wizard of Wines. He seems very interested in wines.
Okay. While that's going on, my character is going around kind of chatting it up with people. Pretty much continuing to encircle people into the festivities and the celebration of love. Not really proselytizing as much as almost performing as a priest would, a priest of Ritter would.
Okay.
To enhance the mood of love and prosperity.
Go ahead and roll me a performance check for that 70s hip vibe. And isn't a failure roll, it's more of a how good do you do roll, you know.
Okay. 1 second, I gotta set up a roll for this one because I don't have that set up yet. Give me a second. 20.
20. Describe how you preach peace and love. They're all about it.
He talks about a lot of the courtship of Porkshank that he has seen and he's heard of. He probably talks a lot to Irina to figure out a lot of what happened, so he can kind of not really fully embellish the story of their courtship, but make it a little more grandiose so that people, when they hear the story, they really get in that vibe.
Okay, an HBO special of their love story. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Notebook scenes and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote you a letter every day.
Partially like spreading rumors, that kind of stuff, but not bad rumors. Rumors that are kind of make things...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, more grandiose. Better.
And then as soon as the wrestling starts, my character looks like a kid in a candy shop. He's actually right on the edge of the ring. Not sure who he's cheering for. He's kind of cheering for both of them at the same time. At that point, people would probably see the old Trey a little more, the Drunken Master Trey, as opposed to the new Archbishop Trey. A little bit of his old kind of carefree mentality kind of comes out at that point.
Okay. All right. You guys celebrate. As you celebrate, you introduce, you drink, you wrestle, you rub shoulders with others. Eventually, a ship comes into the harbor. A very familiar ship to Porkshank. It is the
Kraken.
The Kraken. The Kraken makes dock. As it does, the plank comes down. You hear horns. It is the sound of the prince. It's the prince's announcement horns, and the prince walks down from the deck of the Kraken. He is flanked by a few knights of Agenvostenholt, and he comes down the harbor towards everyone. He gives, of course, a wave to everyone, the kingly wave, and people do begin to bow. Eventually, he motions for everyone to get up, that they do not need to bow, and people do such. At this point, he does approach your characters. The guard's still flanking him, and he says, "By knights of Barovia, it is good to see you again. It has been quite a while since we last debriefed, once the Trinity was diminished. How does my knights prevail? And Burgermeister Porkshank, I bring you good and warm tidings on this most wonderful of day. Your prenuptial seems much more happy than mine was."
Well, mine was not a matter of state. Mine is a matter of the heart. And as we know, I have huge heart.
Yes. Very much so. I am jealous. As a prince, I do not have the luxury to marry for love. But my love died 500 years ago. when my brother slew me and killed her. So, how's everyone else's evening going? Nina?
Well, we have been merrymaking all evening, all day. Here is everyone.
I can tell. The wine stores look like they are running a little low. These Khazadunians appear to take even Barovian wine spirits to their limits.
Some of them even outdrink how I was back in the day.
Yes.
That's
Appetites
saying something.
Yes. Appetites do change, though, do they not, Knight Trey?
They do. And I am much happier for it. Oh, let me introduce you to the one that saved me from my downward spiral. My prince.
Mm-hmm.
Where land meets water.
All right. A large stone giant woman comes up. She extends out her hand. Up, not shaking, but more like, because her hand's too big to be shook, she'll be like, and she says, welcome. You are the prince. We greet and thank. And that's it. That's all she says. The prince will give her kind of like a wave back. He's like, wonderful to meet your mentor. She is large.
You don't say.
Part of the reason I found her. Hell, I should say, part of the reason I was able to be saved.
Well, it is very glad to see giants in my lands that are welcome and in good spirits. I hope to never have to war with giant kind again. It presents a larger problem when we do. Knight Nina, how fare you in this celebration?
Very well, my prince. It's an honor to see you in a time of joy. And you may recall this gentleman here finally regained himself.
I have heard the rumors that the Archmaster Morty has returned to us. And he is a different person. Is this true, Knight Nina?
He is himself now.
Well, I welcome him again into my court. As long as the sheep stop talking, I will continue the welcome.
I'll kind of rib Morty on the side and say, yeah, I don't know if you remember that part. It was weird.
Morty will reply. This is Morty now. Yes, I have heard that I did such terrible things, Prince Caspian of Barovia. You have my guarantee that you will not see the madness from me again. I am free from the curse that Baba Lagassa cast upon my mind, and I hope to keep my sanity about me. I am Archmaster. Oh God, what's the guy's name? Give me a second. Come on, Tony. You're terrible at this. What are you doing? You're ruining it. You're breaking the Dungeons and the Dragons. Give me a second. God, why can't these guys have easy names that I can remember? There we go. I am Archmaster Manchun of Zentil Keep, now of Barovia. I am excited to live here with your people and finally be free of Faerunian issues on this new land of Gulacy. And he'll step back. Okay. The prince will look over towards Azura. Vine Baroness, Azura.
Yes, my prince.
Your efforts on the wall have not gone unnoticed.
Excellent.
I look forward to not having to use their strength, but reside my resolve that they are there.
Excellent. Good.
And Lady Isabella. I am hopeful to see that Barovia perhaps one day will have another town, and perhaps a burgermeister in its future.
I appreciate that you have taken notice of my little hamlet.
Well, as lord of these lands, I am bound to them. I recognize, and I approve. Continue. The lands were given to you. They are yours to use. If they grow in power, perhaps titles will follow.
I seek no titles. I only seek to provide a haven for such masters as have already gathered there.
Yes. Perhaps we can say we agree with such an outing. I myself, I hold the title, but my purpose is Barovia and its peoples, and the security of them. The Knights of Barovia provide this for my lands. You have saved us many times. If you were not here, Strahd would still be around. Frost giants would have overtaken us. The Trinity would have devastated the lands. You have protected us many times, and I pray you have some reprieve, and I do not have to call too strongly upon my knights. But,
It is ever our honor to serve.
of course, like walls on a keep, a sad necessity, but they provide safety to fine people. And he will bless the union between Porkshank and Isabella. He gives you both a single silver ribbon. And he will go back to the ship, and the ship will take off back north along the Luna River to deposit him closer to his home. Okay. What else would you guys like to do during the celebration?
Would like to make sure that Porkshank makes the rounds to the blacksmith, the jewels, what do you call it? The gem merchants, the merchants, the regular merchants guild, just kind of make all of the non-ruling people.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. You make your rounds to all of the local populace. Everyone's here, people in their shops. You and Arena just basically are escorted throughout town. And everyone throws petals, and kids cheer, and drunken dwarves piss in alleyways. It's a great time. It's a great time.
Speaking of dwarves, I want to do want to make a social faux pas here. I noticed during like the very beginning, and I've been trying not to mention it the whole time as we've walked through town. But this one dwarf, I don't know who he is, keeps popping up, and he's almost bald in the face. And at some point during the day, I'm just going to look at him and go, look at this dwarf. He has the beard of a halfling. And that's just it. I don't know why. It just felt like a thing.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right. So. So the festivities eventually die down if no one else needs anything, and you all retire back to the keep.
More than likely, we would head to the Phoenix.
Okay, the Phoenix Tavern. All right. We will reset. Let's take a brief 5-minute break. Let's take a 10-minute break, and when we reconvene, we will be at the Phoenix Tavern, and I believe we will be, more than likely, you will be visited by the Viscount. All right, I will see everyone back in 10 minutes. After these messages, we'll be right back. I'm gonna go take the dog outside before she goes crazy.
Corey, are you still here or you take off?
Has anybody got any big plans for tomorrow?
Sleep.
What's tomorrow? Is there something
Sunday.
special? Oh, yeah. I'm on call.
The weekend? You don't have to go to work?
Yeah, I'm on call, so I'm kind of work adjacent.
Kind of
right
at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but aren't the bars closed up there?
Nope. They just reopened.
Oh.
Story County. Yeah.
That's what we do in the middle of a surging pandemic.
Oh, totally. That's I think it's the hobby of the stupid is to make bad decisions.
Hopefully everybody's done their civic duty.
I have not voted yet, but I had to re-register in a new with my new apartment, and they still haven't sent me my paperwork.
Oh, I thought you were going to say under a new name. I'm like, well, you know.
Congratulations. So when's the surgery, Skylar?
It'll be next year. I'll become the bearded lady.
I walked in at a very awkward point in whatever conversation y'all were having.
Nope, you walked in at the right point of that conversation. Believe
Okay.
me.
Got it. So does Skylar have a new name? Skyla? Is that what we're going with it?
I
Nope,
mean,
just
Skylar is
Sky.
a gender-neutral name.
That's
Nope.
true.
I've
Guy.
met more female Skylers than I have male Skylers.
That's fair. You're the first Skylar I've ever met, so
Same.
Wow, you're the only Kethri I've met.
really?
Also true.
I wonder whose fault that is.
That would be your mother and her voracious reading.
Who tells me,
And-
26 years later, I regret naming you that because now I don't enjoy those books anymore.
Yeah. And thank you, Dad, for not letting her do it Kethriveris.
Which, I mean, with my divorce, I could change it to Kethriveris if I wanted to. Which, if you had asked, 10-year-old me, would have been pretty rad.
But not 80-year-old you?
Probably not, no. I don't know. I've briefly considered changing my name to something more mundane, but I've grown kind of attached to this one.
And then people usually have a hard time calling people by the new name. It just, becomes a whole thing.
You could always go by
it's
what...
more for legal reasons.
Right.
Because it gets misspelled so often.
Yeah, you could
I know
go
how
by
that goes, yeah.
Grandma Shirley's pronunciation of it. You could be Cathry.
Oh, Jesus, fuck no. I love her very much, but no. Almost 27 fucking years, and she still can't say it right. I think it's really just because of her accent. It just makes it hard, but I'm a little salty about it still.
I think your mom's given up trying to correct her, too.
I have to. There's no point. She's 80-something years old.
Cathry, it's so good to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't talked to her since the divorce.
Yeah.
Which is funny because before we got divorced, I had to talk to her all the time because your mom wouldn't. Now your mom actually talks to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she called me today, Mom.
And?
She's trying to save up so that she can buy a place come the spring. She's, well, I hadn't talked to you in a couple of weeks, and this happened, and I've got till spring to do this, and
so after
years,
after 6 years of living rent free and not saving up a penny, what do you think her chances are by spring?
I don't know. She's said that she's got, a couple grand saved already in the last couple of weeks. So I don't know. But I don't know what the fuck possessed me to offer her to stay at my place if she doesn't make her goal by spring.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I should have had coffee before that conversation. Because now I can't take it back without being a dick.
Thank you. Because I was afraid it was going to be me. And I'm like, you know what? We divorced for a reason.
Yeah, no, she was a little bit salty that you didn't offer, but she understood.
No. Here's how it happened. She dropped the hint. I
ignored
the hint. I played very obtuse and came back with a counter statement and she didn't actually ask. She waited for me to offer, and I was going to actually make her ask this time.
Yeah.
Because she did not ask. She gave, how she asks without asking?
Yeah.
And she taught me that bad habit too, and it's a real hard one to break out of.
It is, but I was not going to rise to the bait. I was going to stick to my guns, by God.
Yeah. I'm trying really hard to break out of that habit because it is uncomfortable for fucking everyone.
It is. You are not wrong, young lady.
Yeah, I need to do that same thing because, yeah, I should not have offered that. I'm not happy that I offered it. I'm going to stick to it because I already gave it, but fuck.
But last time she moved in, I ended up in the basement in my own house.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem very fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but you have to-
it sounds like if she comes to stay with me, I'm going to end up sleeping in Mia's room.
See, and that's the kind of guest she is. That's how I ended up in the basement. Because she can't take spiders or damp.
Yep, and Nani needs her own space.
Yeah. I'm like, efficiency started about 350. I think she would be good to find a place that she doesn't like but can tolerate, and that will encourage her to save.
Yep.
That was what I was.
She's at the point where she's refusing to spend money even on gas unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah, and she's good with that for usually about 2 to 3 weeks.
Huh?
She's usually good with that for about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
She might be able to do it till spring, but
Christmas
my
time will
question
roll
is,
around and her go nuts because, I've got all this money in savings.
Yeah. So my question is, if in 2 weeks you can save up $2,000, where's the money been going for 6 years?
Spoiling her grandchildren relentlessly. And doing all of the fun things and young living and.
I was thinking Prairie Meadows, and the weekly games.
Yeah.
And shoes.
Yeah, she gave me a pair of those shoes because she couldn't find the receipt for them, and made a point to tell me how expensive they were. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? I know you like quality and all, but this is a little nuts.
So you're walking around on what could be part of her house.
Yep. And just a few days before Tom told her that she needed to move out, I went with her to a boutique in Ankeny that we both really enjoy, where she dropped, about $300.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whereas I am trying to push my divorce through so that I can save $600 a month.
What are you paying $600 a month to?
That would be United Healthcare for my soon-to-be ex-husband's health insurance that he's not going to fucking use. Not because I won't let him use it, but because he's a fucking idiot. He would rather put himself in debt than use health insurance.
And you can't drop them yet?
Not until open enrollment in May or until I have official divorce papers. So I told him either A, you can pay for all of the court fees and filing costs and whatnot, or you can send me $600 a month until May when you can be dropped off my insurance, and then I will pay for all of it with the money that I have saved.
Okay.
Or both. I don't know. I might just tell him.
All you have to do is go to the courthouse and file. I think me and your mom got divorced for like $350.
Really? Because it cost me $137 just to get the papers.
I'm pretty sure she did it online and then went ahead and did. You'd have to ask her because Remember, she came home and told me I'd filed for divorce.
Mm. Well, I went to go. Okay, so it cost me $137 to get the papers so that we could get them signed and everything. And then I went to go and e-file them, and it tried to charge me $265 just to file the first 3 documents that make it legal for me to give him the papers. And then I'm going to have to pay more to file the rest of the papers as it goes on.
That sounds like a lot more difficult than one we had, but I could be wrong.
I don't understand why it's so difficult, because everybody keeps telling me that it's so easy. You just do this and this. And I did that, and now I'm like pissed about how much it's costing me.
Yeah, but it costs you like a pittance compared to how much it would be through a lawyer.
Yeah, it would cost
And
me
it's
about
easier through a
$500
lawyer.
just to get the paperwork started, and get him served would be about $500.
Exactly.
I would much rather deal with the headaches myself. It's just going to take me a little bit longer than I anticipated. But that PlayStation that I bought myself for Christmas last year, I am selling with all of the games to go ahead and start putting towards all of that.
What games are you selling?
Let me look at the picture, because I haven't seen that collection in, months.
Sure.
Let's see.
Tony said-
I have The Last of Us Remastered, Red Dead Redemption 2, Spider-Man Game of the Year Edition, and Detroit Become Human.
Okay.
All of which were bought new.
I have most of those. Tony will be here in a little bit. He's got stuck outside with Freya, so he sent me a quick.
It's all good. But
And he's got to watch out for paws because of the mud.
Yeah.
There we go. I have returned.
Jake's mom already found somebody that was going to buy all of it for $300 so that I don't have to worry about dealing with it.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Perfect.
Because it's out in Muscatine still anyway.
All right. What's a muscatine?
Oh,
Nothing.
my PlayStation. I'm selling it
Oh, okay.
along with all of the games.
Yeah, I mean, heck, if you're not into PlayStation, it's, I guess you're just tired of using it.
No. I bought it for myself. I gave it to Jake to use after he went to jail and had to go and be away from me. And then he never returned it. It got left at his aunt's house, and his aunt held on to it because she didn't want him to sell it for booze or drug money.
Right.
And now my mother-in-law is selling it for me so that I can put that money towards, savings or paying for my divorce.
That makes sense. I mean, heck, you're the one who bought it anyway, so.
Yep.
Okay.
Which is why his aunt held on to it, because you're not selling something that doesn't belong to you.
Yeah. And honestly, if you don't play PlayStation games, you could do everything that a PlayStation does with a computer and a Steam account. So.
Well, the thing is, I love PlayStation games, but I mean, I haven't had it since May anyway. I never got to use it before that because, my bum ex-husband was always home using it.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, I'm not super duper attached to it. I'm a little pissed that I have to sell it because I need the money, but, it can't be avoided, and I can always buy another one a few years down the road.
All right. Oh, that sucks. You're probably in the apartment all by your, to pay the rent. That sucks. Well, you probably were in the first place anyways.
I've been paying for everything for the past 2 years, Tony. It's not a huge difference, really.
Ouch. That sucks.
It is what it is. I mean, at least my bank account isn't being drained every month by somebody, drinking all of my money.
Yeah. Yeah. Booze can get expensive. It can, it's a bad habit.
The thing is, he bought the cheapest fucking alcohol possible, just in such amounts that I never had any money.
That's a lot of alcohol. That's, you can buy a lot of
like
cheap alcohol.
The what is it, like $2.75 for those earthquake tall boys at the gas station?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He bought a fuckload of those. I'm a little salty.
I don't bother you being. I mean, because it's. I empathize. It's just I have trouble understanding it because I'm just like, how can I'm so stingy. When people aren't, it's kind of like, but it's money. It'll disappear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, back to fantasy world.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Did I miss anything while I was gone? Sorry it took so long. I have to actually take Freya for walks now until the guys come back to put the sod down because my backyard is mostly mud, and if I don't, the dog will be like ankle deep in mud, and I'll have to like give her a bath every time, which takes longer than just taking her for a walk. Oh well. After next week, I should have a lawn again. All right, back to the Dungeons and Dragons in the village of Benz. We're at the Phoenix Tavern. The Phoenix Tavern is packed full of people. The specials is a cheese pie with egg and a tankard of beer, beef stew with onion and coffee, meatball stew and a coffee, and they have a giant wedding cake, which is made to look like pork shank. Currently, the arms are gone because people have eaten those, and currently, people seem to be taking pieces of his torso and leg.
Nice.
All right. So that's what's going on there. There is prenuptial cake if anybody needs one. It's basically kind of like it's vanilla frosting, some sweet berry tart and a white cake. So, okay. So, setting the scene, you guys have your own private booth set to the side, and sitting at the private booth already is Viscount Chauncey Nickelcloud. To everyone else, he appears to be an old, mangy man in an ill-fitting hat. To you guys, he looks every part the Viscount. He will wave to you as you walk in.
So I'll head over to the table.
Okay, that's one.
Following.
I head over there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going.
Following the leader. Oh.
Okay, all right.
As soon as I get over there, I bring out my decanter of wine and set it in the middle of the table.
Okay.
Full of extremely fine wine because the poison dagger's been dripping into it for months.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You put the decanter in there, and the Viscount says, "Oh, welcome everyone for coming. I apologize that I was not able to party hearty with all of you throughout most of the celebrations, though. Fantastic time. I did have an excellent conversation with this Manchun fellow. Knight Nina, I am very happy you took care of the marauder issue. You are beginning to give myself and other mages in the region a worry. Marauders commonly go insane, and when they die, they create anti-magic zones where magic can never come back. It's a difficult issue to deal with, but I'm glad his sanity has returned. Yes, Baroness Azura, fantastic keep, beautiful in design. Your walls are strong as ever. I hope to keep those walls unmolested for as long as possible. I will be having a conversation. It will come up in our discussion. By the way, there's a small zone of silence around us. No one can hear what we're saying. Is that fine with everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Probably for the best.
Good.
Yes.
We also can't be scryed upon for a small time. I have an hour. All right. Well, and also, Porkshank, the town looks as populous as ever. The refugees are just flying in. You definitely are getting our best.
Well, they are trying to move to where the war is not.
Yes, as I wish I could as well. even though Forellis has pulled out from the war. It's still here. So, that's what I'm here to talk about. Good news, bad news, worse news, terrible news, and potentially good news. Which one would you like first?
Well, it seems our plans for the princess and the prince have gone awry.
Yes. Yes.
So where do we go from here? Where do we stand?
So we start off with bad news. All right. Well, I am doing everything I possibly can. At this point, I have been able to. There are war-hawking factions within Forellis that speak about the unification of the Illidan Woods back into Forellian borders, since it can't be done through marriage, through other means now that the boys are no longer away at war. I can guarantee you for at least the next 3 months, you are fine. Maybe 4. There are war forces that are rallying. Barovia has no real allies, sadly. I mean, you do have ambassadors, friends, right? I am a friend, but if my queen commands we go to war, then, well, my apologies. Currently, we are good. We're good. I am rooting for you. The darkness, I'm afraid, is that King Quintilius the Bold was utmost wanting to keep peace with Barovia. He has fallen ill. The princess has wrangled herself out of my control. She is becoming more fervent. It's almost like she's a different person. She has rallied forces. She is currently making deals with other forces. I hope to curtail and sabotage such discussions of these issues. Currently, the country of Forellis is looking at unifying itself and rallying potentially under the next Lord Apparent, which would be potentially the princess with the prince missing.
There is a prince missing.
Yes, yes, there is. We are missing a prince shortly after the princess arrived back. I will find the prince again. I am a master at finding people. He is a little bit more difficult to find at most, but I do hope to be rallying my best. I'm currently trying to re-establish word with one of my best spies. I believe she's somewhere in Thay, taking care of a small issue, but once we reach back again, I'm certain that the Baroness will be able to, the Duchess will be able to find the prince again. We've not been in contact for quite some time, something about a secret mission, but she's still alive. I still have her blood vial, and it has not turned black. What else is going on? Well, that's the bad news, but not the worst news.
Worst news is?
Oh, we're just going dark right away. All right, well, that's your prerogative. Again, we are all friends here. Worst news. For some reason, I believe you have already heard, this is a known issue, that the Winter Court, not the entirety of the court, but the Winter Court of the Phalanx of Mithras has joined the fray on the side of what god? I can never remember the name.
Compact.
Thank you.
Thay on the compact.
Of the compact. Currently, Varicia is in bad straits. There are, of course, other gentlemen who I am in contact with, and they are doing a good job in protecting it. I am rooting for them. If anyone can do it, it's them. But things are looking bad. Apparently, a demon has found a way to get a hold of the Winter King's mantle, and he is using it for terrible ends. Countless dead. But we hope to take care of the roach soon. Sadly, you are unaware, I am certain, of the prophecy.
I am not aware of any prophecy.
Yes. Ignorant of it, it's fine. Only I and a few others are truly aware of the issue. The end of the world is lining up beautifully. The sun has fallen from the sky, and the moon shall follow. I believe the next thing is the vermin who crawl on their bellies will plague the land. That's the next one that's going to happen. After that, I believe the chromatic orders will roar, and she who was missing will be found again, and with her comes the reckoning. So that's the next one. The Lonely Isle will disappear. That's another sign. There's a few others. It's long, it's complicated. It's a prophecy that keeps changing. The book keeps shifting words. There are definitely things that stay the same. But, well, it's luckily enough, I and others have joint custody of the codexes of prophecy. Long story short, terrible things. It just looks like it's getting worse. I really hope we stop this before it becomes any worse. But just letting you know, end of the world possibly coming. I live in it too, so we're all in this together.
So,
Okay.
at this point, I must ask you one question.
Of course.
By our appearance, I'm assuming that is the sun they speak of. Our original mission was to find the king, the Sun King, Summer King.
Yes.
Have you made any progress?
Oh, there's been whispers. I have my fingers in the proverbial pie. I'm certain that something will come up soon. We'll find out something soon. I will see if if the whispers turn true. But until then, we'll see. There's been how can I explain? A seafaring issue. Yes. A seafaring issue and an aversion to the color yellow. It's an issue right now, but we think we might have a solution for it. I've got the right men on the job, even though they don't know it yet.
Is there anything that the Church of Ritter could do to help with your seafaring problem?
Oh, yes. Make sure your goddess doesn't die. That's another sign. That love will be swallowed whole. That one pops up and disappears every once in a while. The prophecy is ever changing. But yes. There's something going on there. I believe love will be swallowed whole when the Lord of Night takes the throne of death on a tower made of carnage and dread, and he shall cast the sun low and the dead will
Okay, can you say
rise.
that again, but slowly, so I can write it down?
Oh, right. Anyway, I believe it goes... The Lord of Darkness will sit upon a throne of death on a tower made of cottage. It's a rough translation. He will swallow love, and with its divinity, it's a rough translation. The dead will rise or float, possibly
Sounds
come to being across the
sounds
land.
very much of the Thayans.
Possibly, yes. I have heard rumors of towers of carnage. Something about cursed gold.
Would I know anything about cursed gold in the Thayans? Is that common throughout?
No.
Okay.
So I must ask, in this dark time, if we were to send a small contingency of diplomats, would it aid our cause within your courts?
I mean,
I'll be right back, guys.
anything at this point will help. Anything. Barovia is, at this point, socially isolated from Varellis. Without the right mouths and the right ears, I'm afraid it will only harry and help the Warhawks who seek the unification of the Illidan Woods.
Very good. So we will. So if we put together a small party to go, we will send them to you.
Yes, currently we are not at war, so your ambassadors can come through. If you need to send any other forces or friends, let me know, and I will find a way to get them where they need to go, or at the very least, make sure that they are unmolested by Ferellian aggression.
Very good. I appreciate this candor from you.
Well, we never had this conversation, for as anyone knows. So, that's the terrible news and the worst news. I only have okay-ish news. Well, not okay. I have news, and then I have good news.
Well, let's have okay news, and then we will end on good note.
All right, okay-ish news. The wine is fairly good here. It's good wine. That's pretty okay. You do still have allies in the world. There are some that recognize the things you have done. There are those in this world that do fear you. You have dealt with fools that have decided to try to smote Barovia. I hope no one else takes such foolish action. The okay news is, well, it's terrible for me, but okay for you, is that I believe I've found a way. For Barovia to survive, you need an ally. You need a lion to have your back. Your armies are good, they're strong, but they're not as big as others. You get my drift.
Hey Tony, sorry to interrupt.
Yep.
I have to go out on a call, so I'm going to hang up on this, and I'm going to try and pick it up on my phone.
Okay.
Hopefully, I can kind of continue with you guys on that.
Yeah, that's cool. I get it.
All right, that's it.
So,
Catherine, is that you typing?
Yes.
Can you mute while you type? Because all I can hear is you typing.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you very much.
Are you ready for the great news? Well, bad news for them, great for you. Have you guys ever heard of the Empire of Grigaldon?
I believe it's come up.
Yes.
Oddly enough, in this warish time, the orcs have not declared war. They have the biggest of the big armies. They dwarf the size of Varelian, Griggle, Gazetarian, and even the Winter Courts, powerful forces. They are a force to reckon with. When the Empire used to go to war, the world would go to war against them. Historically, before the Summer King murdered a lot of people and prevented war from happening on this side of the continent again. They, oddly enough, have not entered the war on either front. I'm going to tell you a secret. The Empress, Samsu, is that her name? Yes. The Empress Samsu the Mighty of Grigaldon is in poor health, as well as every Grigaldorian Empress and Emperor since then, for the last 300 years. I'm going to tell you something that very few people outside of the court in Grigaldon, myself, and a few others know. The throne of Grigaldon is cursed. 300 years ago, Grigaldon got in quite a skirmish with Bern, when Bern was at its height in power. Bern is the, I believe you've probably met the sailor folk of Bern. They used to be more of a land-faring people as well. They had a great and massive country, which now is known as the Blight of Bern. The Burnians were starting to win the war in a great way. Grigaldon looked like it was on its ropes. Soon the Burnians were going to take the war to the Grigaldonians, and possibly we wouldn't have a Grigaldon anymore. The world, as I understand it from the records, was quite hyped for this to happen. Well, what the Burnians did not know is the depths that the Grigaldorians would take to survive and win a war. The Empire paid to win the war with Bern 300 years ago. It paid in a great price. Has anyone ever heard of someone called the Red God?
No.
No. Not surprised. You are foreigners to this world. The Red God is a being of utter evil. In your worlds beforehand, did you have gods of evil?
Well, yes, of course.
This puts them to shame. Let me pull up the doc. Darn it, sorry. I just realized I didn't have something open. Gullisy gods.
Ow!
Oh God, Skylar, mute yourself.
What?
There's like this large noise. You just mute yourself if you can.
Okay, trying.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright, sorry, I'm trying to pull up a doc, but this document doesn't want to pull up. There we go. There we go. Alright, Elven Pantheons, Netadorian Pantheons, Mixed, Yanti, Gullisy, Banished Pantheon, Kor, the Red God. I will not say his name, and I will advise you to never say the true name of the Red God. If you say it, you will be cursed. If you say it 6 times in a row, you will die. He lets his true name known, because he takes enjoyment in it. He is the god of evil, curses, and pain. He is called the Red God because of his red skin and his holy symbol, which is a bloody handprint. Well, Grigaldon made a pact with the priests of the Red God I believe at the time, resided in the Citadel of Poison Tears, far to the south of here. The curse is a payment. The Red Gods used the Codex of Curses, which I believe is located in the Citadel of Poison Tears. And by using this Codex of Curses, they were able to curse the god Gulasi, who is the embodiment of all of the elements. And by doing so, they poisoned the lands of Bern, they poisoned her elemental children, and they all went crazy on the land and killed a lot of Burnians. The blighted lands of Bern are called such because they are cursed land. The elements, the plants, the animals, they're all wrong. And the curse will spread, and when it spreads to a person, I'm afraid the curse envelops them and they also become wrong. That was the price they paid. They essentially destroyed Bern. Bern now exists as an island nation, among several small islands, and are a traveling folk, traders, merchants. They have no real power anymore outside of a fairly potent but small navy. So, Samsu the Mighty, the Empress, is cursed. The curse will randomly strike somewhere within them. When it does, they have a year left to live. I learned that they had recently gotten the curse. We may have 6 months. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Samsu the Mighty was making a deal with the exalted empire of Forellis. I was brokering such a peace. I saw an opportunity. Sadly, I am not able to act on it anymore. The princess has commanded me to pull back, but she did not command me not to pull the contract. And that is what I have here. And he lays a piece of paper that is unsigned, or that is signed already. Oh, 1 second. Let me. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. Give me like 2 minutes. What's up? What is that? Oh, Freya. What did she do?
Can somebody fill me in on what exactly the curse thingy was? Somebody called asking what I wanted for dinner, and I missed it.
The Empress is cursed, or the throne itself is cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we supposed to go and uncurse her?
We haven't quite got there yet.
Okay.
He just pulled up the contract. The princess said don't do it, but then didn't specify. So, you know.
Okay, so we were just about to get to that part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I didn't really miss a whole lot.
No.
Okay, cool beans.
It's Nickel Cloud, so he's fairly long-winded.
Yeah. I guess while he's distracted, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick.
All right. I'm back, but I'll wait for Catherine to come back. This is what Freya did.
Oh, no.
This is a furniture holder. She was chewing it. Leslie, should we be worried about anything? Sarah says it's mostly just chunks on the ground. She didn't seem to swallow it, but...
Is it wood or is it plastic?
It's wood.
It looks like wood.
It's wood.
Okay. I mean, I would see if she'll let you check around her teeth for splinters in her gums.
Mm-hmm.
But chances are it'll soften up enough that by the time she digests it, you might see a few little fleckies in her poo-poo. Mm. But other than that, it should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure she drinks water. That'll help digest anything that she has swallowed.
And that looks like fiberboard, not real wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it feels really soft. It's like breaking off in my fingers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she
wouldn't
should
be
be
too
fine.
concerned about it. Nope. I would just check her teeth if she lets you. If not, then it'll dissolve eventually. Because
Okay.
it's soft wood.
Great. Fun. Fun. We took the couch off the furniture holders because we were bringing the Skylar came over and we helped bring down the the uh, the desks that we had in the garage this whole time. So, Kethri, are you back? I'll wait for you to come back if you're not. I'll take that as a no. Okay. Yeah, he's very long-winded. Uh, he's kind of dancing around it, but I'll wait for her to get back, and then I will
I'm
give
back.
the. Okay. So he continues. He says, "Well, long story short, I have been discussing a peace treaty with the Empire of Grigaldon. It has already been signed by the Empress if the condition is met. The only thing that needs to happen, and I unknowingly had the contract written up this way, whoever fulfills the contract and whoever ruler signs on that dotted line makes a pact of an alliance with Grigaldon, and whoever they want to go to war with, Grigaldon will follow suit for a 4-year term. For 4 years, the most mighty army that exists on this planet outside of Rokugan will ally themselves and follow within reasonable terms. There's also a marriage proposal and agreement in here. Samsu has a lot of daughters, so if your prince is willing, that's a thing.
I don't
Oh.
suppose any of them are like 500 years old, eh?
Sadly, no. They're very burly orcish women. It only requires that the prince marry a Gazetirian-born woman to unify the nation. But that being a caveat, I thought I had a prince to marry to an orcish woman, maybe unify these countries, stop the wars between Ferelis. The princess disappeared, and the princess has commanded me to pull back. But this contract is yours. It doesn't specify Ferelis. It specifies the signatory. This
You are a
contract is
very
very
shrewd
specific.
man.
The contract is very specific, my friends. You have to cure the Empress of the Blight of Bern and the curse that befalls the lands. If you do, then Grigaldon will side with Barovia, and no one will fight you again. And with a marriage proposal, you will be bound in blood, and Barovia will have much protections. And if you join the alliance, I'm sure, with Grigaldon beside you as a promissory ally, every other country will welcome you. They will make allies with you. They will sign contracts with you. You will be protected. You will finally have that which you do not. You are an island in an angry sea. But Grigaldon can be your life raft. The orcs can finally do some good. But I do not know how much longer Samsu has to live. She may have 6 months. Some have lasted longer, some may not. And sadly, you might only have 6 months anyways. I'm keeping the wolves at bay, but you have no allies. You might be able to make some. Hedge your bets, perhaps. You might send out some armies. Perhaps you might win a couple favors with the Majocracy, or Astaria, or the Varisians. Each are desperate for allies. Varisia will not be able to help you. They might be the worst to send your armies to, though it may be the most moral thing to send your armies there. It's your choice. The Majocracy is always willing for mercenaries. They will even pay for armies, and so will the Astarians. So if you're willing to make some money for your home country, bloody your armies, train your men, and possibly recruit more in foreign lands, and make some allies with the Astarians of Majocracy, that might be a route. I'm afraid war is getting bloody. It's getting worse.
I have one small bit of bad news for you as well.
Of course.
Because you have been so forthcoming with us, I feel compelled to tell you that there may be a tiny bit of rock problem in your country that you have not seen before.
I'm aware of the rock problem. It took care of a dragon problem not too long ago. At this point I call it a wash. At least one of them doesn't breathe fire.
Okay. I just thought I would make sure you were aware of accommodations.
We are used to dealing with rocks, sadly, because of the Grigaldonians. They don't have flying ships, but they have giant flying creatures. Though they do not have a rock that big. It's the biggest rock I've ever seen. Luckily, I hear that the local lords are placing large goats and cows on top of mountain tops, and they're keeping it very fat for now until they can find someone to slay the beast. Which they have hired several mercenaries, but I do not know if any have been successful. So, now that you have the contract, I need to give you some more difficult news. This will not... Am I still here? Did I fade out?
Yep, you did, but
okay.
you're back.
I'm back? Okay. Now that you have the contract and the opportunity, I do have to give you the small teensy-weensy bumps I had trouble figuring out how to do myself. So, first, very easy to do. I believe that this curse can be overcome if you get a hold of the Codex of Curses. You get a hold of this codex, you bring it back to an archmage or some kind of wizardly folk that know how to channel great magics. I could suggest a few people. I do think that you do possess some individuals here with great magical prowess that might be able to help you. But regardless, I believe a small circle of wizards might be able to figure out how to use the codex to undo the curse. That's the easy part. You just have to get the codex and bring it to a bunch of wizards to figure out how to undo the curse. You ready for the worst news?
Yes.
The codex relies in the Citadel of Poison Tears, which is heavily guarded by the priests of the Red God. The news does get a little bit worse. It is a known fact that no one can step foot in the Citadel of Poison Tears without they themselves dying after 24 hours if not personally invited by a red priest. And it doesn't matter who it is. No one has survived. Not man, not dragon, not God. Better news, there are red priests in the world. Worse news, I only really know of one that still exists outside of the Citadel of Poison Tears, or the Keep of Poison Tears, which is much more difficult to get a hold of, and you have the same problem. That man is a lich of some renown. He seems to reside in the sea. He sails the seven seas, raiding everyone that he possibly can, and has been a terror across the land. His name is Davy Jones. He is the pirate lich of the Red God. The only way to enter the Citadel of Poison Tears and not die yourselves would be to get permission from him to enter. So, if you were to fulfill this contract, I would suggest you try to find the pirate lich Davy Jones somewhere in the sea. I do hear he is common to be in the Azure Sea. There are rumors that he might make it towards the Northern Isles. I can circle a couple places on a map for you where he's been known to reside, but you are going to have to find him. Divination doesn't work. He is scry proof. Sadly, he is very difficult to pin down. And psychotic. But bribable. Questions?
What usually works is bribes.
Oh, I mean anything really. You're going to have to ask him. I had.
He doesn't have a particular fondness for anything.
Souls.
Souls.
Evil. I have heard from a small contingent of men who I had made merriment with. Well, I wouldn't say merriment. Anyway, I've hung out with them and they didn't know it. Before, and I did hear that he does have a small list of things that he wants done. And if anyone does them, he might be willing to make deals. They're normally horrible, evil, terrible tasks. Some of them, though, not so much. So you're going to have to get the list from him, though. I hear it changes up yearly. He basically has a list of people that he either wants dead, or stolen from, or magical artifacts and other such whatnot. Occasionally, he wishes the death of somebody else. He does worship a god of evil, so we'll see, I suppose. Any other questions?
Out of character. That sounds like someone Isabella's going to get along with really well. Not Isabella, Verio. My bad.
Verio. Yep. Yes. Anyway, if I was to give you a call to action, per se, you would have to make a deal with the pirate lich Davy Jones. Find some way to break into the Citadel of Poison Tears and utilize the most powerful and dangerous of codex to save Barovia, and possibly the Alliance if you choose. Oh, one small caveat just to let you know. The Citadel itself is heavily guarded by the most powerful and evil forces known to man. Second issue, it's been under siege for a very long time by the Dragon Empire of Gazetteer. They've actually built an entire military base around the island that the Citadel of Poison Tears resides on. No one goes in and no one goes out. A long time ago, the Red Priests warred with the Dragon Empire, and they were pushed back into the Citadel. To this day, the Dragon Empire doesn't allow anyone in there. So you're going to have to sneak past the Dragon Empire of Gazetteer.
Wow. Any more good news you have for us, huh?
Well, I can tell you some areas where Davy Jones is. The rest is up to you. On the bright side, you have a potential solution to save your country. Because I can guarantee if you don't and I can't find that prince, the princess seems swayed to unify the Illidan Woods. And the armies of Ferelis outnumber you 30-1.
Yes, I get that. All right, we will do our best here. I must let you know that we will have to run this by the prince. It is not our decision.
Of course.
Knights, what you think, eh?
Sounds complicated, but I'm game.
It does seem the logical step.
Azura.
gets us a powerful ally for Barovia, then I'm all for it.
Stability for the people is what we fight for, no?
It is why we're here.
Then it seems we have no choice.
Well, I did see you had a beautiful ship. So... and a powerful crew. I wish you luck. Be careful if you do run into the Pirate Lich. He does attack first and ask questions later, so the well, that's your problem at this point.
It's like every lich I've ever known.
Yes, he is unkillable, though. He does brag about being a lich without a phylactery. And even if his ship is destroyed, it seems to come back in 7 days, with him aboard. So...
That's fun.
So, basically, an impossible task with outstanding odds against us and no road to the end. Sounds like normal.
Yes.
That's Tuesday.
I do have belief in you. You have gone up against powerful foes in the past, ones that even I would not even dare to cross. And won. If anyone can do this task, it's you. There are people who are singularly more powerful than each of you. But unified, you are a tough bunch to overcome. I am truly impressed. Too bad we never had this conversation and we didn't meet here.
As always.
Yes, as always. Anyways, I do have to leave. The hour is almost up. I have left a map in your room, Porkshank, with some areas circled on it. They are large circles, but it is a big sea, so it does help narrow things down a little bit. I would prepare yourselves to leave whenever you're comfortable. At this point, it is your country. Save it if you can. I will focus my efforts on Forellis, and try to get their efforts focused off of Barovia. If you get my point.
May your efforts be ever fruitful.
Excellent. Anyways, good luck to you. And he disappears. He just, poof, gone.
Ta-ta for now.
All right. You guys are alone in a tavern. What do you do?
Turn to Morty and say, I don't suppose you can summon a lich. Knowing full well that he can't, but just...
He'll turn around and he's like, no. No.
Not even a little bit.
No, not even a little bit. I've had my deal with liches in Zentil Keep. They are a frightening bunch. They are ever as powerful as an archmage and unkillable. Unless you can find the phylactery.
Well, damn, I feel like we need to go to Thay and find a phylactery.
Yeah. Well, it's not just any phylactery, it's the phylactery.
But Morty will...
supposedly he doesn't have one.
But Manchun will turn to you and he says, I would be curious to see this Codex of Curses. I have studied the arcane for quite a while, and your country does possess wizards of good power. I believe if I prepared a circle of them, I might be able to unravel this curse.
It would be appreciated.
Yes.
So that's Morty's task. Who are we sending to Forellis?
We had decided a lot of this a while ago, hadn't we?
I thought we had, but it's been so long I don't remember.
We did, and that's why I was like bringing it back up.
Morty's eating coleslaw. Just watching everybody. Well, Manchu now.
I'm gonna.
You are a man and you are chewing.
Okay, so Forellis, what do we need to accomplish there?
We need to send. I'm going to send my my sage, and I think 2 or 3 of you had whatchamacallits? Ambassadors. And
Yeah.
then I was also going to send for protection the Etten.
Yep. I think my 2 ambassadors were gonna go.
And then I think the only other thing that I possibly might do is see if the Emerald Dragon, through his contacts, maybe has a clue or two as to where Davy Jones might be. And then I will set my spy network to continue to search for the Summer King, because if he's restored to the world, all of this war stops.
Right.
Any other suggestions?
Oh, I don't think I've ever taken as many notes as I have this evening. My word.
Once we know what all my troops are and the captain and all that stuff, I think maybe with some of Azura's troops,
Yeah.
we could start to recruit and bloody them with, I'm thinking Astaria, because I don't want to make deals with the Magocracy if I can help it. I think it will be more of a co-optive thing to work with Astaria than it is with Cathal.
Yeah. Huh.
And maybe if Nina could send Havara with them also to help train, and or does he do just do individuals?
He does. Well, he's with Valaki right now since Victor's away in Barovia. He's
taking over the town guard stuff.
Yeah, he can't.
Gotcha.
Right now.
Alrighty. So Bobby, and I can't remember the sage's name, plus your I don't get word keep on.
Ambassadors?
Ambassadors. They keep slipping my mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else have ambassadors?
No, I don't.
Sure. I mean, if you guys want to send me that in downtimes, I can definitely start that up. That's more of like a slow burn stuff. So I'll respond as I do, and I'll build out what you guys learn and that.
How long will it take Isabella to create the circle? Because we basically have to wait for the prince to make it back to the castle, to meet him at the castle, to make sure the deal's okay. And then catch back up
is
with
what we've said in the past for ritual casting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this is for a permanent circle. This isn't for...
Oh, was that for a month then?
Yeah, it's like every day for like a month.
So you're not going to be able to do that at this time.
No, so that's going to be a future thing that I do for you, but I did promise it as an engagement gift.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But you can still take us to him. So we have basically however long it's going to... How long is it going to take the prince to get home? Like 2-3 days?
Yeah, you think on your ship, probably about 2 days. Like he came here in the afternoon, then he left. So he'll be back in about 2 days. So you think 2 days before you teleport back to the castle and talk to him?
Probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Everybody kind of goes and does what they need to do to get ready for this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
say their goodbyes, leave instructions, send people out, all of the last minute stuff before we get going.
Sounds good to me. All right. So, you do...
So on the 14th of whatever month this is.
Do we just want to meet at the castle then? Because otherwise I can just teleport there from Velaki, since my Burgermeister has the teleportation circle already.
That sounds perfect.
Okay. So you guys are left with a map. I will share my screen, right? I'm looking at this map. I will link it to you guys in the chat. So if you want to look at the map live yourself. All right. And I will share the map on Zoom. Or as they say in Germany, das Zoom.
Wow.
That's
funny.
racist.
Yes, against German people. They
You can't really be
disagree.
racist against Germans. They're pretty awful already.
That's right. Well, I mean, currently or then? I mean, I guess
always.
Yeah.
I'm not racist.
So,
No.
That's not how racism works.
can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
The Germans are pretty good at it.
Okay, so I pulled up some of the stuff, a lot of the filters. So he does leave some circles. So he is known to mostly be around the Azure Sea, right? That's this area right here. He is known to make port at the port of Nenzura, which is in the self-proclaimed country of Cholt. He has known to also sail around and attack the Empire of Grigaldon occasionally. He is known to be in this area rarely, so this area right here where my mouse is kind of rare for him to be in, but he has been seen around this area before and to attack port towns along the Empire of Grigaldon. He generally avoids the blighted lands of Bern. He is commonly found to raid townships in Bern and the island nations of Bern. He is very commonly known to be near Freeport. He's not allowed in Freeport. There's a bounty on his head, but he's commonly raiding ships around there. He is known to occasionally be by the coast of Quixava, right? And there is a small town called Karain, which is on an island near a place called the Isle of Dread. It's a small pirate camp town, and it says that he comes here a couple times a year to rob them for fun and to laugh at them in their strange clothing. That's about it. You're not sure what that means. He is known to occasionally raid near the Fathomless Sea, and he is known to skirt the Silent Sea up here occasionally as well. Mostly occasionally raiding along the coast of Varissia. He generally avoids the Phalanx of Mithras, only because the mists of Mithras seem to keep him from going there. This is, of course, written on the map in a familiar handwriting. It is said that occasionally he is in the Sea of Thebes and the Maelstrom Sea, and to raid along the Rokuganian and Kazian coasts. But this is more rare. He's most likely found in the Azure Sea near Freeport and near the Port Nazun. Or Nanazura. Zuru. I can't pronounce that. You can read it, though. So, there you go. Any questions about the world, the map, or...
Just to clarify, you did earlier state that there are other random red mages in the world? Just he's the only well-known one, correct?
Yeah, he's the most well known. There are known to be other priests of the Red God that do exist in the world. But because the religion of the Red God is outlawed, they're normally in hiding, and they pretend to be either other priests. It's difficult to find them. If you could find one, you just need them to give you the invitation to enter.
So if I were to put it out through my network, I could attempt to contact them?
You could try to find one through your network. That's possible. Or through your network, he may be immune to being scryed, but your network is not scrying. They're a spy network. They might be able
Correct.
to give you more hints to find him.
Okay.
Okay. So there you go. That's your 411. Any other questions about the map or the area?
Come here. Open the door and we come in.
I guess the question is, can we come in?
What?
No, I don't have any questions about the map.
Oh. What about the bushes?
Is that Mia?
No, that's Winona. Mia's at her dad's.
Okay. So you find yourselves at this table. What do you guys do?
Take a big drink of that decanter with the dagger of venom in it.
It's pretty
Pour
good
myself
wine.
a big old glass of that. Big old glass. And say, well, at least we have tonight to have fun and look at pork shank, and you can get jiggy with it for at least one night.
Yeah, I think it's just a night of revelry and competition and fun.
Okay.
Enjoying not being actively, hunted or murdered or
Doing
whatever.
what Porkshank does best, living in the moment.
Okay. You have a brief moment of happiness and celebration before you know darker days are to come ahead. So, next morning. It's a question. I'm not fast forwarding or doing anything unless you guys tell me.
Sorry. Yeah, next morning, Nina and Manchu are going to go back to Valaki.
Okay.
So we can prep things, and then we'll just get ready with things there, and then meet everybody back at Castle Ravenloft on the 14th.
Okay. Yeah. You guys definitely head back. He does not have any spells of teleportation, so you guys are through your means.
Yay, I can talk again.
Hooray!
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. How do you get internet in that cave?
Oh my God. Had to run out to Newton. Or not Newton, Nevada.
I was going to say, that was really good time to Newton.
So Nina, in your travels back, Manchun has 1,000 questions. You have none of the answers, and sometimes he's just asking questions to himself, trying to figure out this codex of curses. He has, and he talks about like what is a codex. Like he's heard of these things before, but they seem prevalent in this world.
Most of my answers are probably going to be more towards, you will probably have to ask my Burgermeister about that, because he is also trained in the arcane arts, and that's going to be 90% of our conversation.
Okay. Yep. That's mostly. Manchun seems energized by the idea of looking at this codex and learning about something that can curse a god. All right. Azura, next day, what are you doing?
probably head back to my keep and get everything in order and make sure, you know, they don't do anything foolish on the wall, on the main wall of the border. I mean,
Yeah.
Just make sure they, stay alert and stay ready for anything.
Okay. You at this point, I'll make them later. Everyone who has a martial force, you are able to get to. You are given from the king a diplomat's pouch. With a diplomat's pouch, it always has a pair, and basically once a day you can put a letter into it and pull a letter out of it.
Oh,
Basically
okay.
allows you the ability to send a message every day. Up
Nice.
to I believe the limitation is a single sheet of 11 by 10 paper, right? Nothing magical, and you can basically communicate back and forth once a day with your forces or whoever else has the other thing of this. Could be a spy network or whoever. And oh god, got an echo. Okay.
All right. Sorry about that.
That's fine. That's fine. So
Where'd
basically,
the echo come from?
each of you receives a diplomat's pouch. You have to choose and let me know in downtime who is it that you are letting have your the other diplomat's pouch. So when your character spends a downtime action to send a message, who gets that message? I do expect during this game a lot of downtime. Basically, if you have something you want to send to somebody, email me, and they'll send you a letter back, and that's how we'll communicate with forces from afar, unless you have other means, which you may eventually get those means. That sound accommodatable to everybody?
Yeah.
So, Azura, if you have any commands for your people, plans you want to make, send me that email, and I will make that stuff happen.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be today. We can say blah, blah, blah until you're ready to write it up and send it. Same thing for everybody else. You all have marshals, forces, and people, and you can command them as you will.
Excellent.
For murder. Right? That's what we're doing? No? All right. So that was Pork Shake. Sorry, that was Nina. That was Azura. Isabel. What is Isabel doing? Your travel's a lot quicker, I assume.
Well, I mean, it's pretty quick for me to get where I need to go because I can just, teleport.
Yep.
I think she's probably going to head back to Raven's Roost, which is what I'm calling the hamlet.
Ah, Raven's Roost. I will change the name now in my notes.
Basically, I'm going to make sure that Malcolm has everything well in hand. Make sure I have whatever spell components and whatever I need from the merchants and stuff that are in the little town, and then go visit Vargas for a hot minute, and then meet up at the castle with everybody else.
Okay. All right.
If anybody needs a ride, so to speak, then I guess I can do that instead of just going straight from Valaki.
Okay.
Well, if you can, if you come
far
back and get me, because I'm the farthest away, I believe, without a...
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can come back and get you. Azura, do you need a ride?
Yeah, why not? Because I'm just as close to Ben's as anything else. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Trey?
I should be fine. I can fly there.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Well, then I'll come back for Azura and Crunk.
Okay.
The morning of the 14th.
Okay. Now, for yours, for tracking, you can feel free to blow whatever copper you want. So replace gold value with copper value on any material components you want. Just look at your spells, see if they have a material component, and you can buy as much of that as you want. You have the ability to buy tons of it and put it in a spell pouch if you would like.
Okay.
And it may be good of you to stock up on as much of that as possible. Yeah, just as who knows when you're going to get the chance again to buy 100 copper worth of chalk or something. That's that kind of stuff. All right. So 2 days of preparation. Anybody else have anything? Skylar, you have 2 days to prepare. What would you like to do in those 2 days? If you're commanding units or anything, or like talking to ambassadors, just send me an email, and we'll see to that in kind of more like a downtime fashion.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2
I
days.
am gonna need some help figuring out what actually happened because I only heard like bits and pieces.
No, they were asleep till about 5 minutes ago.
As I was going, so I'm gonna need to figure out what I heard and what happened because
modus operandi, you exactly what's written in the primer is what has happened. He told you that you need to find the Codex of Curses and the Citadel of Poisoned Tears. The only way to get in the Citadel of Poisoned Tears is you have to get permission from a Red Priest, and the only Red Priest he knows who might be able to be dealt with, or at least is well known enough to still exist outside of the Citadel, is Davy Jones.
And is there any diplomatic actions that needed to be taken? Because I was gone for most of it.
People had talked about maybe doing some in Varisia. Sorry, not Varisia. In Forellis.
Yeah.
And possibly sending units to help with the war efforts in Astaria.
Okay.
So, if you want, you can. If you want, you guys can get an email chain going and CC a lot of you on it. And that way, you guys can all bounce back and forth with me on that. If your units know about each other and are working together, right? So that might be something to think about. So.
Throughout the rest of the night, my character is going to talk about the stuff that he has access to and what he could help with for the units and allies that he has. So, like his 2 diplomats that he has, he has a cleric and where land meets water who can communicate through the temples of Ritter. He also has a couple of armies of archers that might be able to help, but he doesn't really want to send everything and leave Krezek unmanned. And I can get some knowledge. I do have a dragon ally who is very knowledgeable of everything that I have talked to him about. I have not found the depths of his knowledge yet.
Okay. And Porkshank, you do have.
I'm going to get together with the captain, quote unquote, my new captain, and kind of talk with him. I think I have a couple cavalry units, a couple infantry units, plus whatever he brought with him. Just leave the town guard where it's at and send those out. The only real unit that's not going to go with them will be the galleon unit, which is going with us.
Right.
Because, we need a ship.
Yeah. Need a ship and men and a captain.
Yeah, Yep, exactly. So, on top of that, I think I'm just going to take all of the gold except for maybe 1,000 of it for traveling expenses or whatnot, and send it with my emissary, the sage, that's going with them to continue doing what I did before, buying out the slave pits. and ship people back to Ben's.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're gonna send your guy out to slave markets, and you're gonna continue to build up your town. And
Yes.
okay, sounds good to me. That's a lot of money. So okay, yeah. Go ahead and send that to me in an email so I know how much, and I will make rolls as he's able to get whomever.
Okay. I assume that's, we have to do things with money, so.
Hmm. Yeah. So you keep 1,000 copper on you. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll say you do have other monies, right? But like Arena has them, and they're like stuck in like land and other stuff.
Well, yeah, and I mean the town has operating stuff. I'm assuming that this is just my portion of whatever the town.
Yeah. This
has,
is like your personal portion, right? Without having to actually liquidate assets or pull from your steady stream of money you have coming in from lands and mines.
From farms and mines and workshops and trade and all that other fun stuff that goes on with doing all of the managing. I assumed what you gave me was just like stuff for me. So that's
that's your personal fun money. Yeah.
He's not a things kind of guy.
Yeah.
Hey, James.
Yes.
Does your character talk about doing that?
I don't know that he would talk about it. It's just something he would arrange.
Okay, because if you talked about it, I was just going to say my character would probably throw money your way to help with that.
Okay, well, we're in the small group saying what we're doing. This is what we're doing. So, absolutely. And if you would like my person to send those people to your place, that's good too. He can act as your, offer people. Or actually, we could just do them all and say, hey, whoever would like to go to a more religious setting.
Wait a minute. If we could start claiming slaves that someone else is buying.
We're not claiming. We're just allowing them once they get here to choose wherever they go.
All right, because I'll say then, if Skylar's going to jump in on that, then I will.
That monies from the monastery were used, as well as monies from me and monies from whoever pushes in money. I'm going to let them know who did it and let them make their own choices. That would be a Tony roll.
Gotcha.
Hey, 15% decide to go here, 20% decide to go there. It's just like we're just like getting them out of bondage.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, Nina would also throw money into that if that's the case. And then anybody wants to join a militia or a town or whatever.
Exactly.
I'll do the same as well.
Yep.
My character sends 15,000 into that.
Okay. If you guys want to get into like a giant email and just CC me how much
if someone can go ahead and start that.
Yeah, that way everyone knows what everyone's thrown in.
I think we've hit a good stopping point then.
Yeah.
Okay.
The night.
Okay. All right. So at this point, you guys are prepped. You guys send me an email of what you plan your forces to do, how much money you're sending in with the ambassador, that kind of thing. You can private those emails. You can combine them together. You can CC whatever you guys want to do. I will answer them in time. I'm going to note them, right? Because as time passes, I'll make the rolls and see what happens. I assume modus operandi next game, you guys plan on meeting with the prince, having a discussion with the prince, and possibly being ready to set sail and begin this great adventure. Or terrible adventure if you all die, I guess.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, at this point, you guys have surprised me. Like last time, you guys decided to join evil, so I'm like, all right, well, what's this crew gonna do?
This one tends to go towards
We're
good.
also going to be evil.
Oh my God.
You, Isabella. You and your identity problems. I mean,
I'm just trying to find myself.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, a little bit of a slow start, but in general, we kind of got the setup, right? You got the premise going. We have
I know what I expected tonight.
Yeah,
Bring game zero. That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Yeah. We have the modus operandi, the The goal is very simple. Find and deal with Davy Jones, break into the Sentinel of Poison Tears in whatever way you choose possible, and find the most powerful and evil artifact in the land and use it for good to save Barovia. So, sounds simple.
Oh, we do have an unresolved issue.
Mm-hmm.
I just remembered. Ashes.
The Wizard of Wines is taking care of that.
Okay.
It's not our problem anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I just knew they were on the way to be back and that we hadn't located the Kraken yet to stow them.
Yeah.
So,
the Wizard of Wines is taking care of the Ashes problem. At this point, there's no one stopping them anymore, so it's just an evil artifact that needs to be dealt with.
Okay. I just was...
Mhm.
I hadn't heard a solution for that, so I just needed to bring that up.
No, that's fine. I thought that would have been the Wizard of Wines is dealing with it. He believes he has found a place to put them forever, and the soul shard of Baba Lagasa with it as well.
Okay.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
So I've lost track of what the actual schedule is for game. Is this really our true weekend that it would have been, or is
Yes.
next weekend?
This is the true weekend it would have been.
Okay, so the next game is the 7th.
So yes, the next game is the 7th. Email me. So here's a quick thing to think of, right? I kind of do this with my other game as well to kind of speed up things. I assume what's going to be happening next game is kind of what I talked about, and you guys are going to sail out and try to find Davy Jones and that kind of stuff, and I'll prepare for that. As we get deeper into game, and it's more of a hex crawl, and you guys are traveling across the world, between games when we end sessions, I'll ask you, where are you going? What do you expect to do? Right? That way I can kind of prepare for everybody generally where you think you're going. That way I can prepare areas, read up on locations. If you're going to chase a certain like subplot, I can read up on that subplot more and prepare for that kind of thing. That kind of stuff. It kind of helps me in a hex crawl go, okay, if I know where you're going, I can prepare the town. Does that make sense?
Done.
All right. Well, good quick game, guys. It's good to be back at this table. It's good to be back on this adventure. And I hope by next game we'll see what happens. And I'm rooting for you guys.
Do we want to start a mass email so we can all